don't know what's ahead of me. I work so hard for everything. Don't wanna lose my time or my mind on the grind, but I want a better life for me. I do the things I hate to do, just to try to find my way to you. I see you in my mind all the time, visualize, and I hope that I can make it through. I gotta find my way out. I gotta find my way out. I gotta find my way out of everything that holds me down. I'll scream until my lungs give out. Ain't nobody gonna stop me now. I gotta find my way out of everything that holds me down. Out of everything that holds me down. Out of everything that holds me I wanna be a better me. I wrote a song called Destiny. When I'm in pain, don't let them see. Emotion is the enemy. Therapeutic chemistry. I strive to be a part of you. I wanna help the world get through. Sometimes I feel so small against it all. Don't know what to do. I just dream of ones and twos. I gotta find my way out. I gotta find my way out. I gotta find my way out of everything that holds me down. I'll scream until my lungs give out. Ain't nobody gonna stop me now. I gotta find my way out of everything that holds me down. Out of everything that holds me down. Out of everything that holds me down.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday. What are we doing here? Well, that's quite a deep question. Let's not get into that right now. It's John and Ben for All Out.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I
think I'm going crazy. Don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy. Don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy. Don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy. Don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
Well. Happy Sunday, everybody, and happy Sunday to you, John.
Happy Sunday to you, Ben. It's good to be here on a Sunday. Hey, it's looking good. We've got 14 viewers already. 14, I'd say.
15.
15, wow.
Yeah,
Maybe we should do it on a Sunday.
I don't know. We'll see how this goes, I guess. We'll see how this goes. But how are we all? I hope we are all well. I hope I can see David, Andrew, Vaughan, Beats and Tapes. Who else have we got in there? I thought I saw Shalini, Julie, Dreadeye, Militant Mushroom, and whoever else is there. If I didn't mention you, I'm sorry, but hello. Una. Well, giving us a wave. Giving us a little wave there.
Not smooth, smythe. I like that.
Well, Luke Honeyfunder, and he did say to me on Twitter, I'll be there. Apparently I sound a bit tinny.
Emma Watts? Well, that's just Ben. He does sound a bit tinny. I'm sorry, people.
Is he messed up on the audio again?
No,
Hold on, let me have a listen.
changed
Let
the
me have a
audio.
listen. Let me have a listen.
Actually, you do sound tinny.
It sounds awful, yeah.
Oh, does it sound awful?
Yeah.
Oh,
It sounds awful.
try it now.
Hold on.
Oh, you have to.
Hold on.
You'll have to speak.
Oh, no, it sounds great, yeah.
Yeah. My bad. I forgot.
What'd you do?
I forgot to mix mine issue because he insists on listening to the pre-roll. So
In French, when you talk about being late, John, what's the word?
en retard.
En retard. Oh, dearie me.
He sounds tiny. I mean tiny.
Everybody's happy with the sound for now.
Thank you.
I don't just say now, I say for now.
Yeah, for now. Well,
we never know how things are going to go.
If it goes off, flag it up to us because that's your only job apart from, well,
Listening,
actually.
Adoring.
No, actually, apparently they shouldn't like us. So what they should do is they should click the dislike button. Right?
Right.
Bear with me.
Right.
And then hit the like button. Because in
Because
YouTube's
it counts as 2 interactions.
it counts as 2 interactions, and you go from a -1 to a +1, which is a two-step jump instead of going from a 0 to a +1.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the dislike button, then hit the like button. We'll see if that does anything for the algorithm. But hit the dislike button and then hit the like button. We're trying to game the algorithm a little bit.
Do not forget to hit the like button.
Yes. Remove your dislike instantly.
That's okay. Look, all you need to do is dislike us and then like us again. Hey,
Yeah.
that's all. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. Well, it's Sunday night. I've had an interesting couple of days. I went to see The Haunted Mansion
You did,
at the cinema yesterday. Yeah, and the critics hated it. The critics absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well, that's good. Because you paid
Well-
money to go and see it.
Define pay. I didn't pay
Well,
money
yes, you
specifically to go and
did.
see it.
You didn't get it for free.
No.
You've exchanged some kind of drinking token in order to get entry to the cinema.
Yes.
What did you
I
have
suppose
when you
so.
went to the cinema? Just from our interest. Did you have any comestibles?
I did, yeah.
Oh, God.
I did not have a fizzy. I did not have a fizzy
well,
drink.
okay, but you had a milkshake, didn't you?
Of course, I had a fucking milkshake.
So there goes your sugar-free. That's what? How long were you sugar-free? How many
36
hours? 6 hours.
36 hours. 36.
6 hours.
36.
6 hours.
But no, I didn't have a fizzy drink. I had a milkshake.
Oh.
I
Because it
let
really
myself
matters whether the sugar comes in fizzy or not.
Hey, it was a decadent treat. Right? It's not something that
Yeah,
I drink
yeah.
15 of a day. It was a decadent treat. And it was bloody lovely. I had a mixture. What did I have? Choc chip, mint choc chip, honeycomb, and then this thing called ribbon. And it was like a mixture of brownie and vanilla and caramel, all put into a milkshake and
Sounds
blended up.
disgusting.
It was fantastic. It really was fantastic. But yeah, I'm sitting here praising a Disney movie. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't, right? But it's a damn sight better than anything they've put out in God knows how long. I understand why it's a 12A. People were going to take their kids to see it, but they can't.
Was it quite
can, I
scary?
did. Well, no, it's not scary, not really, but it deals with some very adult topics, I would say. It really...
Did
the
you take
core of the
Dexter?
movie, yeah, I did.
And how did he cope?
He enjoyed it. The boy loves horror, so Haunted Mansion, he's straight there. But no, the core of the movie is how to cope, or at least coping and dealing with loss and grief and death. And it's just, it's really well done, I think. And it also, if you're a fan of the theme parks like I am, and you're a fan of the rides, they really did pay close attention and take really good care with the lore that's attached to the rides. They used both Florida and California's mansions in the movie. You went to both. And I just really quite enjoyed it. It wasn't woke. It wasn't anything like that. It was just a movie about dealing with loss, dealing with grief. And Jared Leto actually put in a good performance because he was covered up by CGI.
Cool.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I would say go and see it, personally. You know,
Yeah.
if you've got nothing else to do and you want to go to the
Yeah,
cinema, go see
right.
The Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
You
okay.
enjoy it, I think.
I spent the weekend leveling a floor.
Leveling a floor.
Leveling a floor. As
Did you
do.
enjoy it?
No, particularly.
And then I went out last night to the old karaoke with the wife and some friends and got a babysitter.
Yeah.
John calls me up, right? John calls me up. He didn't realise I'm out at the karaoke, despite
Well, he
the
never
fact I
told
put out-
me. You didn't tell me. You didn't check in and say I'm going out tonight. Don't call
Well,
me.
He, like I say, he didn't realise, despite the fact I'd put out a tweet saying I'm at the karaoke, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, a
right?
general tweet. To what? I don't get your general tweets. You're muted.
Anyhow, he calls me up, and I'm pretty sure, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's half cut at this point, right?
It was what? 10:30 or something?
10:30, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, probably was, yeah.
And he's going to me. What was it?
Well,
you
I was
said to me?
quite impressed because I did it. I was kind of a loose end and I'm going through YouTube and this guy goes, are you tone deaf? And I goes, well, Ben tells me I am. So I does a tone deaf test on YouTube and went through all these things. And you had to listen to all these, chords and melodies and tell them whether there were, dissonance or consonance and all this. And I pretty much aced it. And I said, I'm not tone deaf. I just can't sing.
Yeah. So he goes, I'm not tone deaf, Ben. I'm not tone deaf. And I went, so we know what the problem is. And he goes, what's that? And I go, you can't fucking sing.
Yeah, well, no, I told you that. I told you I couldn't sing. I know that. And you got to admit, because I'm pretty good at picking music and cutting to the beat.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're very good at it, actually. And the thing is, we can get you to at least basically be able to sing. That won't be an issue. We'll just teach you some scales. We'll start there.
Do, re, mi.
Exactly. Or just la 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 la. Something like that.
John's a secret.
And to answer Beats and Tapes questions, yes, I did sing. Of course I sang.
Yeah, of course he would.
Emma
Could you imagine trying to stop him singing? Good grief, people. You put an extrovert in a karaoke bar and try and have him not sing. How's that going to go down?
I'll have you know, I only sung 5 songs.
Oh, is that all? Were people paying you to get off the stage?
No, the guy that runs the karaoke bar likes it when I come in because I can actually sing and he can actually have a mess around with me.
And he knows he's going to get some action.
We did the Meatloaf song, I Would Do Anything for Love, and I make him be my lady.
Oh my God.
I make him do all the lady parts.
Cool.
He loves it. He loves it.
So, what else has been happening?
You've still got loads of stuff you want to talk about that we couldn't talk about on Friday night, so we could.
Well, it wasn't.
Definitely start. Did you see the house explosion?
Gas. Got to be gas.
It was either it's gas or a meth lab, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably gas.
I mean, it's quite impressive.
Oh, it is quite impressive. A house went up when I stayed in Ayr. One of the council houses blew up. And it would have been what? It would have been half a mile away. And I can say our house shook when it went up. Right? Mm. And we walked past it on the way to school and there was nothing left. This was a brick built semi and it was gone.
I keep hearing, I'm looking at the chat, and Beats and Tapes is saying, wonky house, the wonky pub is gone too. I keep seeing this phrase, wonky pub, wonky house. Fill me in, John.
Crooked House it was called.
Crooked House. Fill me in.
It was a pub that was lopsided and had been there for many, many years. It got bought quite recently by developers. It was a listed building, so they couldn't do anything to it. Oh, it caught fire and got demolished. And now we can build anything we like on the land. There you go. Have you frozen? He's got...
I'm here.
What happened?
I'm here. I don't know. It all just went... Boo-doo, 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 boo-doo. But now it's back.
You still on fibre?
Yeah.
Did you touch your USB cable?
Maybe. Possibility. It's possible.
Good.
But that was the quickest come down and come back up I think I've ever experienced. So.
Yeah, that's what Chrissy said as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what she says that often. I'm quite disappointing, to be honest.
Right. So, did you get any of what I was saying to the assembled multitude? And we're going to have to repeat myself.
Something. You went the wonky house is.
So the Crooked House. Crooked House was a pub. It was a listed building. It was a bit funny looking. It was bought quite recently by developers. It was a listed building, so they couldn't do anything really to change the external appearance of it. And there would be many restrictions on what else they did. And, it caught fire and then got demolished the next day. Now they can build what they like.
Well, that's mighty convenient there, John.
It's mighty convenient. It's almost
It'd
as
be like-
convenient. It's almost as convenient as Larry Silverstein when he reassured the World Trade Centers.
I'll tell you what's also... I got something to compare it to. In Hastings, in East Sussex, they have a pier. Hastings Pier, right? And
Oh,
it
God.
was it was under private ownership, but it was being handed over or taken over by the council. And the day before Hastings Pier was due to be removed from private ownership and put into the hands of the council, the whole thing miraculously caught fire.
It's good, that. It's good. Right. Well, I tell you what, let's get into the meat. Let's get into the meat and bones of today, because it's been pretty stupid on Twitter today, I think. So, let's go to the chat. Hi, Shalini. What is it in Hawaii, then?
Arson?
What is it? Well, Shalini says that's no wildfire in Hawaii. I think it means on Maui Island, but no wildfire. What is it then?
These people are they're heavily leaning towards arson.
Yeah, arson is a means of starting a wildfire, but Shalene said it's not a wildfire, so is it a wildfire that was started by arson, which I'm 100% with you? Or is it something completely different? Because there's loads of wild theories going out on Twitter today.
Oh my! I've seen some theories.
Yeah.
Spencer, pipe down.
Right, so I think one of the mainstream media theories is spontaneous wildfire caused by climate change, I believe.
Yeah, but that's always going to be the mainstream media theory.
Bullshit.
They desperately need that narrative to be true.
That's
right?
bullshit.
They desperately need that narrative to be true, because if it's not true, then they spent so many years investing in that narrative and trying to drive you towards that narrative that they'll just look like idiots. So despite the fact that a great deal of quote-unquote wildfires are started by arson and, in my opinion, probably climate activists starting them, they just say, no, climate change. And then when it becomes unequivocal that these things have been started by arson, they go, yeah, but despite the fact it was started by arson, without the climate change, it wouldn't have been able to burn like it did.
Yeah, right. Okay, so here we go. And we've been through this. So many times.
Yep.
We as a species interfere in the planet. We know
Yes.
that. We interfere probably when we shouldn't, right? And one of those big things that we interfere with is fire. Because unless we're making it, fire bad, right? So, forest goes on fire, we put it out. We build fire breaks. We stop anybody making campfires and things like that because we don't want fire. So what happens is the forest, which naturally burns occasionally due to things like lightning strikes and stuff like that, right? So the forest will naturally burn a few times, throughout decades or whatever. And that clears out all the detritus and the grass and undergrowth and things. But no, we don't let that happen. So the dry tinder gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we don't go in and scoop it out because who's going to do that? So you've basically got a dry, older forest that if it doesn't rain is set for fire. And then when it goes, boy, does it go.
And it does go. Yeah, it really does go.
All you need then is a wind and whoosh, that's it. And it doesn't take much. Once a wind catches a forest fire, that's it. All you need to do. And these people in Hawaii, I'm sorry, but you know what? You got to calm the fuck down, right? Really. Because forest fires are horrendous. All you need to do is go and speak to a Californian or an Australian or whatever.
Absolutely.
And they will tell you how bad it can be. And I'm pretty sure Maui hasn't burnt that often because Hawaii's not that dry normally. So maybe they're going through a dry spell. Happens to
they are
everyone
volcanic
occasionally.
islands.
Yeah, well, they are volcanic islands, but Maui's not active.
Yeah.
As it was pointed out to me when I said they are a chain of volcanic islands. Duh. But anyway,
yeah.
it's almost certainly man-made. I would agree. It's probably been arson or accidental, you know.
Yeah, I mean, these things can be started by the flick of a cigarette.
Yeah. I mean, and as I said, once it goes, it's going to go, right? Well, right, have you seen Hawaii? It's covered in trees. There's going to be a fire at some point, you know?
It is. It is. And do you know what, Shalini? If I had to put money on it, I would agree with you that it's not accidental. I mean, look at these Canadian wildfires that just happened. You could see them from New York. They were for the most part man-made. They were man-made. They were, and you know, I only surmise and suppose when I say it was probably climate activists that started them, but it's on more than one occasion we found that to be the case because they want to, I guess, kickstart whatever doomsday scenario.
As you said, you know, they want to keep the narrative going. But the thing is, I mean, and those Canadian fires weren't particularly bad either. You know, I mean, Canada's burning, no, it wasn't really, you know, it was probably pretty much in the middle of an average year, you know.
Yeah.
So Canada burns quite a lot because it's got a lot of trees.
a lot of trees, yeah.
A lot of trees. Yeah. California, a lot of trees. Colorado, a lot of trees.
A lot of trees.
And then we go on to Jew.
As in DEW.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I had to clarify that because obviously censorship gods.
Yeah. Directed energy weapons. Oh my God. So we are now well immediately we've got a problem because we're now dealing with they. Who are they? So who's operating Jew?
Well, first of all, I don't doubt, and you might call me crazy for this, right? I don't doubt that in some places around the world, such things are at least being worked on or may well already exist.
Oh, I'm not calling into question that some form of direct energy weapon does exist, right? But what I'm calling into question is why are they using it on Maui?
Well,
so who are they? Who are they to use this weapon?
Again, and I'm also gonna. I'm just going to say something here, and you can call me silly. I don't really care, but in order to create such a weapon that would have to use an immense amount of power, right? It wouldn't be handheld. It wouldn't be tiny. It would be a very, very large device, right? So where is it?
Yeah. Or, well, it's either on a truck or if you really go out there, it's in space. It's on an orbitable platform. Right,
Shalini says on an airplane.
Right, okay, so now we've got a government agency has to be doing this. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because we're now beyond the bounds of corporatism, aren't we? Or are we?
I would say so.
Yeah, we're probably into a government agency. So we've now got some government agency is setting wildfires on Maui, right? To aid the developers that want to take over the native land. It's kind of starting, for me maybe, I mean it might be okay with you, but it's starting to sound a bit far-fetched, right? And then
I just don't see why you would need to use something like a direct energy weapon when, like I said, a cigarette,
a box of matches
could set the fire.
Right, so anyway, but even better, so let's see what's happened, because apparently these guys are quite creative, the guys that operate the directed energy weapon, right? So they make things burn in perfectly straight lines. and they avoid one house and make another one burn. Or they crisp a dog on a pavement, but they leave everything else untouched. You know, that's not how fire works, right? What happens is the dog's lying on the pavement, completely charred, right? because the heat around it is so much, it's spontaneously ignited. That's what happens in these fires. And some trees burn and other types don't. Some trees burn and still look like they're trees, but they're all burnt. You can't tell from the photographs, you know? So you unless you've actually been and looked at a forest fire, this is the kind of thing that happens. And if you're an ex-fireman or whatever, you probably would know this and would be able to back me up. But
well, the thing is, what I'm going to say is this: I don't see large swathes of current or ex-firemen coming out on social media and going, "Well, this is a bit strange."
no,
And if I did,
what you got, what I got today was, it's always ex-military guys or ex-government or ex-fire people that say, well, it's just a forest fire. That's because it is.
well, exactly, and the catalyst for that forest fire was more than likely not quote unquote climate change. It was
people.
Some kind of human intervention.
Yeah.
Right. That's generally the case these days.
But I mean, let's just go back to that. I mean, these guys that believe this, you know, do they think someone up there has got a joystick and is going, I'm going to draw a circle around that one, you know, and I'll zap that tree, you know? Is that really what you think? Do you think people do that? Do you think there's somebody sitting there with a joystick going, ooh?
And are we really able to direct the flames to only go down a certain path? These are flames; they'll do what they want.
No, what happens is they're usually wind-driven and fuel-driven, so they'll follow the path that those do. And all it takes is a small change of the wind, and suddenly the fire front stops and goes the other way. And when it goes the other way, it's not getting any fuel, and bang, it's out. And that's why you get a perfectly straight line, because the wind changed.
Yeah, you're right. But at the end of the day, it's becoming increasingly difficult for me to interact with anybody on social media. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, it's a nightmare. I foolishly made a kind of joke today about a guy.
Don't do that.
Oh, God. So this guy sets up a tripod to film himself doing a TikTok. So he puts his phone on the tripod, puts the tripod on the wall. Wall, right? Now,
on the wall.
What's the clue with a tripod? Tri, from the Latin, meaning three.
Yeah. I mean, my DSLR is on one right now. You are looking at me on a camera that is on a tripod.
And walls tend to be what? How many points are they going to give you to put your tripod on?
Well, probably two.
Two.
Yeah, two.
So the back leg of the tripod was in thin air. And he obviously thought this was going to be fine. So he set the thing up, turned around, walked away, did his TikTok dance, turned around, the camera had fallen off the wall into the water.
Beautiful.
And I said, foolishly, I guess tripods weren't a black invention then, right?
Oh, good God.
Referencing do you remember the meme where the black guy had gone out, you know, going, black guys invented everything?
Yep.
And it just went nuts. You racist.
Racist.
And I'm like, oh, what? And somebody says, I was waiting for someone to bring the colour of his skin into the equation, and I said, hold on, I'm not asparaging the guy for the colour of his skin at all. Right?
And they don't even know what colour skin you have.
Yeah, I know they don't, but that doesn't matter. I said, all I'm doing is questioning his intelligence.
Absolutely. Yes, Shalini, we have. I've heard of that. I'll actually address that. So, shall we go there then? Shall we go to black on the square?
Yeah, go there. Let's go there.
So, Sadiq Khan has announced an event in Trafalgar Square called Black on the Square. And I'm a bit confused as to what it actually is, because it says celebrating black culture, but I didn't think that black people were a homogenous bunch that had one single culture.
Whoa, let me stop you right there, because I mean, I saw exactly the same thing said on Twitter, and somebody said, well, are you black, Asian, Hispanic, what? Whoa, you can't ask questions like that. That's just racist.
I think the opposite to that is a racist, right?
Yes, I know that, but this is... So, what's black and what's not?
Well, I don't know, because it's like that Best Buy thing, isn't it? It's like that Best Buy, whites need not apply thing. Although it says on the application, you just must identify as. And that could mean anyone. And so, but still, I want to know if there is a particular black culture, because that's what Sadiq Khan and his little poster for his Black on the Square event is telling us. And I honestly think that is the bigotry of low expectations, or at least leads into that. It simply says that, oh, you must have this culture because of the color of your skin. It's like, wait, what?
I think, to answer your question from a personal point of view, is I think there are very many black cultures.
I agree.
Because, black isn't just one group of people.
It's not one shade of skin. It's not one group of people. It's not one country. It's...
Now, what I'd like to address is, as you said, the bigotry of low expectations. And if you're black, and there may be people in the chat that are black, I don't know, right? Apparently I'm a filthy toe rag, according to Adam. But anyway, there may be people...
He's probably right.
He probably is. But there may be people that are black, and you can help me out here. But from my point of view, I would have thought if I was black, this whole thing is very patronising.
Absolutely. I would have thought so too.
I mean, it's like YouTube when they do their Black Creators Month and things like that. Hold on. Well, why why does a black person need a special month? Because they're not good enough to compete the other 11 months out the year? Is that the case?
I completely agree.
Tell MKBHD that. He can only compete 1 month a year.
Well, this is right. And once again, the bigotry of low expectations. It's telling people, oh, because of your skin colour, you need a bit of help. And it's how patronising is that? I mean, I don't believe that black people, Asian people, Indian people, Hispanic people, whatever, wherever they're from, I don't think people need extra help or support simply because of the colour of their skin. I think they're human beings. I think they're people. And if they want to put their hand to something and do something and want to be the best at it, I think that they've got just as much of a chance and just as much of a right to do so as anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm all into the meritocracy.
I agree.
Stand up and be counted. If you can do it, you can do it. I was actually thinking today, when I was at school, everything was a freaking competition. Everything.
Yeah, oh my God. Sports Day is hilarious now. Yeah. They all get awards.
Yeah, but Sports Day was for the jocks, But everything was a competition. Even PE was a competition. You usually played an adversarial game, whether it be volleyball or rugby or God forbid, hockey, right?
Yep.
Hockey, the most dangerous game ever invented.
Yep.
And I don't know why. I don't know why they seem to think that it was appropriate for girls to play it, because they are vicious, deadly assassins.
And then they went and stuck blades on people's feet and said, go and do it on the ice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, hockey. I mean, see the amount of the rugby captain.
Oh my God, ice hockey explains those scars on Daniela Westbrook.
No, they don't. The rugby first 15 captain lost 2 teeth at hockey.
Yep. Hockey's
rugby.
Vicious.
But everything was a competition, and I was thinking, because they put me in the choir in primary school, right? Now, this was obviously before I realised I couldn't sing, or maybe I could, and then my voice broke, right?
Mm.
Because to get into the choir, you had to go through a singing test. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I'd like to be in the choir. Yeah, you're in the choir. No. What happened is you get called up, you had to stand beside the teacher and you had to sing the scales. And she would go, you're in the choir, you're not. You can
Yeah.
go and bang a triangle. You can sing. And that everything was a competition. And the thing is, if you weren't keeping up in maths or English or whatever, you get put down a class.
Yep, same would happen with us.
Yeah, and if you were too bright, you actually went
Pick you
into
up.
the supergroup.
Yep,
So,
yep. I had the triple science super group. I was in that.
what happens? Yeah, a singing test. Seriously, Charlene.
Yeah, we had it. We
you had
had
to
it.
stand beside the teacher, and she was usually be on the piano, and she'd go, right,
Yep.
do the
Sing
scales.
the scales, boy.
La, 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 you know?
La,
That's
la,
what it was
la,
like.
la, la, la,
Yeah.
la. Yeah. I just want to reach out to Shalini actually and say, Shalini, I love you. She says, I used to play hockey and would hit the girls who didn't wear shin pads. I got sent off a few times.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to
Without
turn my fan
condoning.
on.
Without condoning. Fantastic. Fantastic. She was a left wing in hockey. I don't think she's a left wing anymore. Oh, dearie me, dearie me, dearie me. Yes.
Okay.
But no, yeah, everything was a competition, and now it's meritocracy's gone right out the window. And you
Yeah.
know what? When I was growing up, I was also taught to just be colorblind, you know, and that was the norm. Just don't see people for their skin color, don't see people for their race, just see a human being and take them as they come. And that's always how I've endeavored to live my life. And now I'm told that's wrong, that's racist, you must see skin color. Well, I'm sorry, but no, I don't want to
I know.
start judging people or making differentiations between people based solely upon the color of one's skin. It's not my bag, man, as a hippie would say.
Yeah.
Mm,
So, anyway, there we go. There we go.
there
What
we
is the
go.
word coming to?
The world's gone absolutely well. I say the world. I'm actually gonna revise that. The Western world, driven solely by social media, has gone absolutely friggin' mad.
Did you see the West Yorkshire Police Inspector?
No. Oh, the one that got the guy for calling him sausage meat.
Yeah.
That happened ages ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it happened ages ago, but it's another example of West Yorkshire Police in action, right? But
yeah.
what was the problem? I mean, and this is the thing that you probably learned very early. Is this guy's an inspector, mind you, right? So he's been in the police for a few years, right? But you normally learn this quite early in your career. Don't pick fights you can't win,
Yes.
right?
I mean, the judge threw that out immediately.
No, the judge
Technically,
didn't throw it out. He
in the
failed.
courtroom.
No, he didn't throw it out. Well, what happened was the case never went ahead because the inspector never turned up.
Nah. Well, he called me sausage meat, Your Honour.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Call me sausage meat.
So right. So here's the scenario. Why pick a fight where you're not going to win? Because let's face it, he knows that the cop knows the law, right?
Does he? That's questionable.
Come on, yeah. Yeah, I mean, for fuck's sake, we spent, what, 16 weeks at police college? 16 weeks doing nothing but the law.
Yeah, that's you. That's back then. These people today. I mean, look at PC gender studies.
Yeah, but,
Look
I
at
mean,
PC
yeah, every time you got promoted, you went back to the police college. To pass your exams, you had to know the law inside out.
I'm just going to ask you this. Do you think people are passing exams now? Because even the police...
I would hope so.
Well, look, even... No.
I mean,
maybe, I don't know.
you had to pass exams to make you eligible for promotion. That was never a guarantee of being promoted, but if you didn't pass those exams, you weren't even considered for promotion.
All I'm saying is, I don't know her name, but so we will call her PC Gender Studies. PC Gender Studies, I don't think she passed any exam, and I don't think she knew a damn thing about the law. Because I'll go one further, because I don't know if you heard this, right? But the circumstances of that incident were actually worse than what we originally thought. Because the girl was in the house, walking up her stairs, and said it to her mum. The police had left the house and were outside, and PC Gender Studies heard it peripherally, offhand, ran in the house, assaulted the girl's mother,
To get in?
and then said, "What did you say?"
Yeah.
So it didn't just happen within the house. The cop wasn't even in the house.
That's what I was saying yesterday.
That's a home invasion, surely.
It's certainly overstepping the boundaries because there was no need for her to take any action. No need at all. A milk monitor, right?
God,
let's just address the milk monitor. So every morning at break time, you got it wasn't a half pint. It was probably like a quarter pint or so, or a third of a
little
pint. Little glass bottle of milk. Every primary school kid got one.
Yep.
And the milk monitor used to, if you were the milk monitor, you used to dish them out. Here's your milk.
Dish them out.
There's your milk.
Yep.
There's your milk. Oh, there's a hot one for you because you're an arsehole. Yep. That's what the milk monitor used to do.
Oh, I actually do. I do remember that. And the thing is, I'm nearly 30 years younger than you, and we were still doing that back when I was in school.
Yeah.
You know, it was a good old tradition, but all of that's gone now. It's all gone now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shalini says, "Oh, I see. We got small cartons back in Ireland."
No, we'd be glass bottles.
Yeah, but
with foil tops and a plastic straw.
Foil tops, plastic straw, and cream on top.
Yes. We used to fight. You used to fight to get to the milk so you could get the cream on your cornflakes.
Yep. Oh god, oh yes. Do you know what? Life used to be so much simpler.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. It used to be so much simpler before the advent of social media, and it really was social media that's done this to us. It really was. And like I say, this phenomena of the world going mad as people see it, it's not a global thing. And it's not in the vast majority of the world. It's just you see it more because the type of people that are going mad are the type of people that you interact with and see on social media. But the vast majority of the world are not like this.
Yeah. Well, and speaking about that, our theme of last Friday's All In about the village for immigrants in Russia might not be 100%, right? Because apparently that's a propaganda newspaper.
The planning permission has been granted. I was actually reading up on it.
Oh, you so it is. I was right then. So it's
so the planning permission has been granted, and there are 200 interested American and Canadian families.
Yeah, that's what we said on the show. It was just Andrew who'd thrown a spanner at the works, and me. He'd thrown a spanner at me during that night, but please don't. not after a show, because you've seen that, you saw how much I drank. I want to sit back and chill.
Yeah, well, I can say from my cursory research I've done today, actually. I've done some research on it today.
That's cool.
Planning permission has been granted for construction beginning in 2024
in
a suburb of Moscow to build this suburb. It's
village?
Like a
village?
Yeah, they're calling it a suburb.
Yeah.
Whether or not they actually do it, who knows? But the news is that the planning permission has been granted. They can build it, and they've got 200 interested American and Canadian families. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't care what people do. If they choose to move there, and that's what they want to do, that's where they want to go because they see that place has better values for them, then surely that's their decision. It's not my decision.
Yeah, of course,
with their lives.
Maybe a place that's got better values for a lot of us.
I mean, I'm not sure that the US or Canada will ever let them back, but.
Well, you have to ask the question. At this point in time, would you want to go back?
Well, it's really a dependent thing, isn't it? It's dependent on what happens. I saw Steve Bannon on Dan Wootton. And we'll talk about Dan Wootton in a minute. But I saw Steve Bannon on Dan Wootton saying that this trial that the Trumpster is going through It's going to be good for the Trumpster. It's what the Trumpster wanted. Because he's saying, Steve Bannon's saying, the Trumpster's going to prove that 2020 was, quote unquote, stolen. And this court case has given him the venue to do it.
Okay. Maybe.
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 I see the judge has told him to be wary of making inflammatory statements.
Why?
Because
as long as they're not direct calls to violence or threats, what's the problem?
Well, I think that's what the problem is. He's told them not to make inflammatory statements in case he causes violence or threats.
Did you see the Trumpster, was it yesterday, at the Iowa State Fair?
No.
My God, it was packed.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. See,
they were all trying to get.
I really don't know about this. I really don't know, because the Trumpster really went down in my estimation.
Yeah.
When he announced Operation Warp Speed.
Okay.
And when he didn't stand up for states that, went the wrong way.
Yeah.
So the Trumpster really went down in my estimation because he caved like a cheap suit. Or he folded like a cheap suit. He really did.
I mean, whilst he was still president, he would go to his rallies and people would be going, fire Fauci, fire Fauci.
Yeah.
And he'd be going, you want me to fire Fauci? Well, maybe I will. It's like,
yeah, he's all talk, no action. I mean, look at Hillary. If I was president, you'd be in the jail. She's still not, and you were for 4 years.
Yeah.
You had plenty of chance. You didn't make any action on it.
I mean, one of his good old campaign slogans, lock her up, lock her up.
And then the thing that really, really disappointed me is when he finished as president, he didn't pardon Snowden or who's the other guy? Assange.
Yeah, and he was asked to repeatedly.
Yeah.
Not just by them and their families, but by a great many people. One of his last acts as president was to reopen the travel with the UK specifically. And then Joe Biden came in and went, yeah, not doing that. And turned it off again. So who knows? But yeah, no, he should have pardoned Julian Assange and Edward Snowden.
Very disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing.
I think both of those people have provided great public services.
Yeah, I think, and this is a personal thing, and people won't like it. I think Trump's had his day. He served a purpose, but he's not someone that's going to be the saviour that takes us out of this.
Well, no, because there are no saviours. It doesn't matter who.
No, I know.
There are no saviours. People need to stop sort of holding on for a hero till the end of the night, because that hero is not gonna come.
You've got to be your own hero.
You've got to be your own hero. You've got to make your own decisions. You've got to go your own way. You've got to look at the nuance in every situation and in every discussion and in every problem and come to your own conclusions. Doesn't have to be the conclusions to which me and John come. In fact, you saw a couple of episodes ago, me and John didn't agree on anything really during a very heavy and deep debate episode.
That was good. I enjoyed that though. That was good.
I thought it was very, very good. I enjoyed it as well because it's good to be able to have real discussion, and I would like for it to have gone a lot further, but then you just don't know right now on this platform what you can and can't say. I mean, we're going to restart multi-streaming with Rumble at some point because that looks like it's an up-and-coming platform, like big time now, just as I always said it would be. But
you did. I'll give you that.
I did.
Because I'm going
day one.
And we still were at the point when we stopped live streaming to it. We were still at the point we're wasting our time.
But maybe we'll still be wasting our time. Who knows? But I'll work. I'm going to work on optimization for both this platform and on Rumble, and we'll see what we can see. It's the only thing we can do, right? And obviously, with your guys' help, we might be able to share things, get things further, far and wide, because, we do need your help. We need your support. Make sure you've clicked both first the dislike button and then the like button. We'll see if that makes any kind of difference to the viewership of the show.
Work it, baby. Work that
and
algorithm.
Obviously, if you really want to stick it to the algorithm, Ian, make sure you get around the algorithm, then hit that notification bell, because that sticks it right to the algorithm, because the algorithm is not required at that point. So make sure you've hit that notification bell, because then screw the algorithm at the end of the day. We're no Mr. Beast. We're no Mr. Beast. We haven't got those types of numbers, I'm afraid. So we do need your help.
I think someone else needs help. I'm getting quite worried about Julie's youngest.
Why? What's going on?
Well, he couldn't see past the message in Barbie, and now we discover that he has night vision goggles.
I want night vision goggles.
Why do you want night vision goggles? When do you ever go out at night?
That's not even the point, John. I want night vision goggles. I went out at night last night, I'll have you know.
Yeah, but you didn't need night vision goggles in a pub.
I don't know if you've been into some of our local
yeah, but you wouldn't really be treated with kid gloves if you wandered in wearing night vision goggles, would you? People would think you were some kind of undercover cop. I saw an undercover cop on Twitter today trying to score drugs in the street. And this guy he was in a t-shirt. One, he was a white guy, right? Two, he's in a t-shirt with Captain America's thing on the front, and he's got chains around his neck, right?
Oh my god.
And he's buff, right? He's got the guns, the big muscles.
Yeah.
Right? He's got the classic T shape, much as what I used to have when I was younger. And he's strolling down the street trying to pretend, with half a doubt in his hand, trying to pretend that he's looking for drugs. And my God, drug dealers are not terribly stupid. Well, not if they're still out of prison.
Yeah, if they're still out of prison.
Yeah.
I would say for a large majority of them, they're quite terribly stupid, actually.
To watch hedgehogs. Hedgehogs are strange creatures.
They are, they're strange creatures.
Very noisy when they make love. And I speak to you. I speak to you. Not as someone who's tried to make love to a hedgehog.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But as someone who was quite disturbed when he found a couple doing it. So here's the picture. This is Tales from the Street. Okay?
We don't need this.
So I'm out on patrol on my own.
He's doing it anyway.
I'm out on my own. Do you not want this?
Go on.
So I'm out on patrol on my own, right? This is one of the first times I'm out on my own. And I'm wandering down the streets with my torch and I'm checking the property. And I hear this sound like sawing. And I thought, this is like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, somebody's trying to break into somewhere. So I creeps down this alley and the sawing noise get louder and louder until it's basically... It sounds like there is somebody sawing a 2x4 just across the back of this wall. So I bust the door open, the gate, and there's 2 hedgehogs at it on the lawn. I'm like, how can something so small make such an amount of noise?
Not quite as noisy as bloody foxes, though, and we get a lot of them around here.
Well, we know about foxes. They sound like kids crying as well.
Oh my God, don't they just? Don't they just? Adam says he's sitting there doing the sound effects.
They are noisy little buggers. Right.
That's what this show has degenerated into, folks. Description about how hedgehogs, was it, copulate. So here we are.
Hey, every day's a skill day. You know, you stop learning, you stop living. Stop living, you stop learning.
Well, the second one's definitely true.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe. That depends. That depends where you go. What happens to the stream of consciousness? Does it evaporate into the ether? Or does it come back to the mothership?
Well, I do wonder if it's all for nothing.
Oh, we had this discussion the other day, didn't we?
Well, also, we build up these brilliant cities and societies, and we look at all of this innovation, and at some point the sun's going to explode and engulf it all anyway.
Yes, but is it? Well, is it? Because let's face it, that's just another model. And anyway,
well, if the sun doesn't, sun doesn't explode and engulf it, or we'll crash into the sun.
We've got plenty of time to avoid that.
Yeah. Well,
as a species.
Well, you say avoid, you mean get out of here, get the hell out of Dodge. Adam says we will be long gone before the sun dies.
Yeah, we will. Huh? Anyway,
we will go the way of Wally.
Wally. Right, let's go back. Let's go back. Right, so 22,500. Picture that. More than a quarter of the British Army failed their fitness tests.
God.
What do you make of that?
It's making the advert seem worse.
More than a quarter failed their fitness tests.
Oh, good God.
That's what Adam said. You should see the way they wobble round the office.
We are fucked.
Yeah. Well, if we have to go to war, we are. But let's try and not go to war. Speaking of not going to war,
unfortunately, that's not mine or yours choice, John. It's the megalomaniacs in charge.
Well, I prefer to call them narcissistic psychopaths.
All right. Narcissistic, megalomaniacal psychopaths in charge.
Should I talk like this with more gravitas all the time? Do you think that would be better? Would it give a more pleasing experience to you?
You almost sound like Sean Connery.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Vaughan says, why is it a surprise they failed their fitness tests? I'm not... No.
Well, don't start
Women
reading
can be fit too.
Huh?
He says they let women... Well, of course, but women can be fit too.
Yeah, of course they can. Yeah.
They can pass fitness tests.
Right.
Oh, Adam says, no, you sound like Gordon Brown.
No, Adam's... Right. Adam is the last person on earth to criticise anyone's accents. Just trust me on that, people. Just trust me on that. And I think Ben will back me up.
I'll give you an impression of Adam's one voice that he can do.
Don't.
Hello there. It's me, Terry, and I'm in your basement.
No, it's worse than that. It's worse. It's much worse than that. That was more like.
Basement.
No, you can't do it. You can't do it. It's way worse than that. You sound more like Vaughn there than Adam. But anyway,
I'm taking Vaughn and Shalini to Brighton.
What for?
Go on a pier.
I thought you were going to say go on a piss.
He might end up. No. Just look up Brighton, and then all will be explained. He's a very pretty boy.
Yeah, Brighton's quite a diverse city.
He's a very pretty boy. That's all I'm saying. Very pretty boy.
Sure got a pretty mouth. Remind me to tell you the massage story later. It's not a personal one, right? This is from Twitter today. But it's quite funny, so I'll bring it in later on, okay?
Right.
So,
oh no, you're... I'll protect you, Vaughn. Don't worry. I used to live there. It's fine.
Right. Speaking of that, let's continue on the soldier theme. So Zelensky fired all the recruitment officers in all the
Right.
recruiting centres in Ukraine.
Because there is no recruiting required. It's conscription, isn't it?
No. Well, yeah. However it's done, it's called recruitment. But he fired them all because of complaints and allegations of corruption. They'd had an inspection. There were 112 criminal cases raised of corruption, right, by these
Against
recruiting
Vladimir.
officers, taking bribes, right,
Okay.
and people on the board are taking bribes to let people out. So he's fired them all, and then he's putting new people in. And wait till you hear the excuse. He said, "This is because the Soviet system that we've had in place." Well, hold on. You stopped being a Soviet country in 1997.
So why were you still using a Soviet system?
So the Soviet system he had in place encouraged corruption. Well, we know that because you're in the most corrupt country in Europe. Good grief.
Yeah, well, you know, when you say 112 criminal complaints raised about corruption, you think, what, against Vladimir?
No, 112 criminal cases of corruption raised against the people running the recruitment centres.
Yeah, but they should be raised against Vladimir as well, surely.
I don't know.
Who knows? Anyway,
And then did we mention that his defence minister is moving to a new job in London?
we did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, moving to a new job in London. Did you know, during the Soviet era, Ukraine had at least one, maybe a few, American towns?
Right. Oh, what, for training purposes?
Yes, so they built
Yeah.
full-blown American towns. Not even the shops had American products in, American signage, the coin meters at the side of the road, everything, right down to the littlest detail, so that Soviet spies could learn to become Americans and live the American way. And they had to have like linguistics training because they couldn't let their accent slip. They couldn't let it known that they were Russian
Yep.
or Ukrainian. It's a bit. I was looking at some photographs of it all earlier, and I thought this is creepy as.
It's a bit born identity stuffish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, right? Did you know that the US built a Japanese city in Utah
No.
during the Second World War?
Same reason.
No, nowhere near.
You can't really integrate.
No, nowhere near the same reason. They built a Japanese city because Japanese cities tended to be built with mainly wood at that point in time, right?
Yes.
So they built an entire Japanese city so as they could burn it to the ground with their newly discovered weapon called napalm. So they tested
Just to see how it burns.
Yeah. So they tested it to get everything right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the right amount of load, where to drop the bombs and all that. And then they went out and they burnt almost every Japanese city to the ground apart from two. And you know what those two were?
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Because they dropped an atom bomb in them.
Yes, they did.
So they
Yes,
really
they did.
screwed Japan over.
Well, they really didn't like Japan at that point, and Japan really didn't like America at that point. And
Well-
you know, I guess it was war. Did all of
And
those
the-
innocent people have to die? Probably not.
No, and America incarcerated all its own citizens who were of Japanese origin in concentration camps.
Yes, they called them internment camps, didn't they? Just
Yeah,
to,
but well, same thing.
just to jazz the name up a bit.
Yeah,
People don't seem to remember that the West did the same, those sorts of things.
yeah.
Right? They don't seem to remember it. But to be fair, I believe they were released and they were actually treated quite well. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I can't comment. I was listening to some stuff last night, and about from Congress. You know how they
Right.
do those hearings and people come up and talk about things, and they were talking about the Middle East and Iraq and all that.
Mm.
And this isn't a documentary. This was Congress talking about
Right.
what's going on right now. right?
Yep.
These people are so fucking arrogant
Yes.
and controlling that it makes your skin crawl, right? They're going, well, we think that, we need to do this because if these people do that, then we can't really have that because that's not in our interests. These people are scum.
Sick. They're sick in the head.
They really are. I have no regard for them whatsoever. It makes me see, this is where I'm torn, right?
Oh.
Pardon me. Because I like America. I've been there many, many times.
Me too.
But I cannot stand the way their government behaves.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's the same wherever you go.
I suppose it is to a degree.
It is. I mean, let's look at simply here. Look at the way our government acts. Look at the way your pretend government there in Scotland acts.
Have you seen the latest?
Well, what's him to doing now? Did you see him getting laughed at and booed off?
Yeah. Did you see the guy heckling him and you told us, Hamza, to call out anyone who was a bigot. Did you see that one? Yeah.
No.
Oh, did you not see that?
No.
Oh, so Hamza's on stage and this guy goes, Hamza, you told us all to call out anyone who was a bigot. That speech you made in Parliament about the colour of everybody in positions of power in Scotland was the most bigoted speech I've ever heard, and I think that stands without question. It was right.
Well, certainly that probably happened within the Scottish Parliament.
Yeah. It's definitely up there with some famous people from the 30s, I would say, right?
Right.
And anyway, he goes, so you told us to call out bigots whenever we saw them, and you told us to tell them to just F off. So Hamza, fuck off.
Yeah. What did he have to say to that, though?
Oh, he's there's a guy fucking bigot. There's a guy in the background who tried to heckle me, blah, blah, blah. He's a twat.
Well, at the end of the day, what that guy trying to heckle him said was the truth. It was the truth.
It was the truth. Because that was a bigoted speech. And if he hadn't been in Parliament, that should have got him locked up by his own law.
By his own law, yeah.
So anyway,
you said such a thing around your own damn dinner table.
Yeah, well,
according to your own law.
The latest one is you're now no longer, or they want to bring in, you won't be allowed to tell people, or you won't be allowed to castigate people on the basis of their age. So you can't say you're just a grumpy old man. You can't say that. You could say you're a grumpy man, but you can't say you're a grumpy old man.
No, you won't be able to say you're a grumpy man soon.
Oh, well, yeah, you probably can't say that anyway. But, so, it's like, the world's gone freaking mad. And you know what? You can't live like this. And I would urge people to not live like that, but to live by your personal code, right? Because most people at heart are generally good. And if you do things that you think are right, if you're ever pulled up for it, then you should have the body of everyone behind you. And that's what we need to do. We need to band together and stick up for each other, because intrinsically, we're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to have a good life. Yeah, but we're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to have a good life. Yeah. And you know what? You want banter. I mean, it's like I went into Greg's last week, and I don't go into Greg's very often.
Are you sure about that?
No, nice one. I see what you did there. But anyway, so I goes, can I have a black coffee, please? And she goes, do you want a medium or a large? And I goes, I'll push the boat out. Give me a large. And she gives me the black coffee, and I'm like, whoa, have you got a sleeve for this? Because a black coffee is very hot. Very hot, yeah. And she goes, no, we don't do them.
What?
they don't do sleeves for their coffee.
Why?
And I go,
How am I meant to carry this?
whoa. This is Scotland, right? So you always have a wee bit of banter, and you go, oh, okay. Do you do asbestos gloves so I can keep the power in my hand? And she goes, I'll give you a cup holder.
Do you know what she should have done? A quick and easy way to solve this: stick it inside a second cup.
It only works for a certain amount of time, that.
Yeah. Andrew says it's like they crave some form of Stasi system, everyone grassing on each other.
They do.
But of
Well,
course,
yeah, they do, because of course they do. They want to divide and conquer.
I mean, look at Schwabby.
And let's be clear here. When I'm saying they, I am quite clear. I mean the government, right?
Yeah.
And when I say the government, right, just to be clear, I mean central government, I mean Scottish government, and I mean council. Because the worst form of government, in my view, is those mealy-mouthed penny pickers or penny pinchers at the lowest level of government. Those are the worst.
I'll tell you why. It's because they think they are on par with those at the highest point.
They think they've got power. And
Yeah,
you know
they do.
what?
They think
They don't.
No. I'll tell you what, like, and listen to people, like I say, listen to people like old Schwabby Schwab, who is not any of those people, but wants to be. Thinks he is already. What was it? I saw a clip of him today saying, in the new world, things like the privacy will no longer be valid. You will have to give up, privacy. You have to give this up. And don't worry, if you have nothing to hide, then of course you will have nothing to fear.
There's quite a few people said that, hasn't there? In the past. What were their names?
People are,
Well, their names
they're generally
Adolf.
not good. Mao, Pol Pot,
Stalin, Lenin.
Stalin. Yep.
Yeah, there's quite a few people. Johnson, Can. Yeah,
But remember,
this
John,
is the
you
kind
were-
of thing that Sturgeon's definitely said it, I'm sure. But this is the thing.
Nothing to hide, you got nothing to fear.
That's not the point. That's never the point. The point is you are due inherent rights and you should be able to hang on to them. And you need to grasp them firmly and hang on to them at all costs.
Absolutely you do, because they will be gone. And unfortunately, looking at a lot of the generation below us, Generation Z, whatever they're called, or below me,
Alpha.
they seem... this lot that are coming into their own now, they seem hell-bent on giving up those rights. They seem hell-bent on careening us into a dystopia. And this is why I say we should raise the voting age to 25.
I think you've got a point. I really do.
Well,
Well, especially when if you look at the way that kids have been brought up these days, in that they are too sheltered. They're protected from everything. That's the problem. They're never
they're not just
exposed to
protected,
anything.
they're empowered.
Yeah,
They're not just
protected and
they're
empowered.
empowered.
Yeah. Well,
They are
in
told-
fact, that's a great segue. Speaking of that kind of person,
Right?
the girl that plays Snow White,
Oh my God, Rachel Ziegler.
she
Disney need to fire her.
somebody needs to. What can you say? Somebody needs to have a strong word in her ear.
I'd say she's embarrassing Disney.
She needs to stop talking.
Right, so Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was Walt Disney's first full-length animated feature. He was personally involved in it. It was his baby, right?
Yeah.
And she is calling the prince a stalker. She is saying that, we're outdated now for dwarves. Oh, we've got a guy in our story, but we might cut all his scenes because, it's 2023.
Yeah, I know.
She needs to shut up.
And the thing is, she thinks this is groundbreaking and new, and it's not. This was all done in 2011. Snow White and the Huntsman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That was a strong female lead, yeah? So, and who was that? Was that clown out of...
Twilight.
Twilight, yeah, Twilight, aye.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
But she's never gone up and pretended to be I mean, while she may be entitled and a bit of a brat, she never come across as this Ziegler. This Ziegler person is...
Some of the statements she's made over the last few days are insane.
They are insane. And why are they letting her away with it? Does she believe her own hype? She probably does.
She said she wants paying for every hour that it's streamed. Not just every hour that she worked, but every hour that it's streamed ever. Mm-hmm. So she wants paying because she had to stand there for 18 hours in a dress. She's 22 years old, this girl. Oh. She's got no idea what life is. She's got no idea what she's talking about. And she hopefully Bob Iger is going to march her to the unemployment line because this film isn't finished yet. And let's take Ant-Man. So the last 4 major projects from Disney, right? Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, The Little Mermaid, Secret Invasion, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Indy's died a death, hasn't it?
Between the 4 projects, Disney are looking, when all is said and done, to lose around $1 billion.
Yeah, because I think Indy alone is 110 million in the hole.
Well, yeah, it cost over $255 million to make. And actually, the budget's probably swelled to more like 455, and that's just production. Right, then you've got marketing costs, which are usually your budget of your movie again, and then you're looking at you've got to make something stupid like 1.5 billion just to break even, because remember when films make money at the box office, the studio only gets 40 to 50% of that revenue. Mm-hmm. They don't get it all, so they say, oh, it's made $1 billion. Well, the studio's only actually got back $500 million on that movie.
Yeah,
and it's
that's fair. I mean, the people that actually do the work and show it have to get something.
Well, exactly. But, you give credit where credit's due because they've released The Haunted Mansion, and I think it's a good movie. Yeah. I do. I think it's a good movie. I enjoyed it, and I would see it again. So, yeah, credit where credit's due. We can't just shit on a company for being a company. But hopefully, because obviously the earnings call was a disaster, essentially, the other day. Mm. And they're now raising the price of Disney Plus again. They're looking to sell things like their television division, ABC, because they've got to buy. They are contractually obligated to buy Hulu by the end of this year, and that could be between anywhere between $10 and $24 billion. It's not finally valued yet. So they've got to get money, and they've got to get money fast. And my advice, Bob Iger, if you're ever watching this tiny little show, you need to just cancel that movie now. Write it off as a tax loss. Never release it, because if you pump more money into this, it's going to lose you more money. People are not going to come out for this movie. They're not. Look at The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid has lost hundreds of millions of dollars. Nobody came out for it. They didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
They need to stop repeating the same mistakes and actually create some damn entertainment that people want to see. As in, people will just enjoy. Barbie's killed it. It's killed it at the box office.
And you keep going, mate. You're doing great. I'll be...
His bladder's hurting. But no, Barbie's absolutely killed it at the box office. Oppenheimer's absolutely killed it at the box office. I will say that, Disney have been putting out crap after crap after crap after crap. And like I say, finally, they've knocked out something pretty okay with The Haunted Mansion. I would say, go and see it. Would be my personal opinion. I really did enjoy it, and I didn't find it at all woke. I thought the cast were pretty damn good. I thought the story and the lore, if you're a fan of the rides like I am, because I'm a massive nerd, the story and the lore were really well connected. They managed to use both mansions in the American parks and tie them into the story. I thought it was pretty good. Very, very heavily talking about loss and grief and how to deal with those things. And so if you've got little children, I'd say don't take them to see it. There are some scary moments, I guess, but it's not a horror movie. It's a 12. It's not a horror movie. But credit where credit's due. But if they keep making this utter shite that nobody wants to see, then how can they moan when it loses money? How can they moan when it loses money? This Snow White movie is not going to make money. I mean, did any of you see? I don't know if any of you got Disney Plus, but they made Willow. They made a series of Willow with Warwick Davis as Willow. It was a follow-on from the movie. It came out last year. You can't find Willow on Disney Plus anymore. You can't find it because it was hated so much that they deleted it into the annals of history and have successfully called it a tax write-off. They know it's shit. I was just telling them. Did you know, John, on Disney Plus last year? I've already told them this, but they made a season of Willow as a follow-on from the movie. John, I can't hear you.
No, I didn't know.
Right, well, they did with Warwick Davis back in the role.
Oh,
of Willow.
yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
I was just saying to them, you can't find that on Disney Plus anymore because Disney deleted it and have called it a tax write-off.
Was it that bad?
That bad.
Oh.
That bad. And so they know when they're making shite. I think it's not long until the Samuel L. Jackson series Secret Invasion goes the same way because it's terrible.
Is it?
It is terrible.
Oh, I watched a couple of bits of that.
It's bad.
Yeah, what was the premise? Oh, yeah, it was quite bad. I watched it. 6 episodes,
Yeah.
Hey, they killed Kobe. They killed Kobe.
They killed Kobe.
Why would they kill
Ben
Kobe?
Mendelsohn. Why did they kill Ben Mendelsohn?
I don't know who that is.
The Australian guy, the old guy.
Oh,
Played Talos the Scroll.
Who cares?
Kobe Smulders. Agent Maria Hill and How I Met Your Mother.
Kobe
Kobe.
Smulders.
It just turned. It could have been such a good story, but then it just degenerated into the old Marvel CGI fest at the end.
Oh yeah.
With old Khaleesi and a really bad CGI arms.
She's not good.
Oh, so bad. But yeah, no, that's life, I guess. John, do you have anything else for us?
China.
Going to the land of China.
China has just said your Paris Accords. We are more interested in energy security than we are in paying lip service to your climate change agenda.
Well, you know what? I don't like the idea of congratulating China or anything, but quite frankly, I think that's the right move.
Well, it's a sensible move. Energy security is probably more pressing for many countries than they're letting on. Yeah. And we spoke about. Well, actually, Niger's gone very quiet, hasn't it? I haven't heard much about Niger over the last couple of days.
No, I'm sure they'll pop back up again soon.
Oh, they will. Especially after the guy told Victoria Nuland to take a hike.
I have a question. This can be completely unrelated, right?
It was a very difficult meeting. Because she said you need to reinstate the guy, the previous prime minister, right? In order to get back and get our aid, and he said, you know what? No, if you keep pushing, we'll kill him. They've already now imposed a different prime minister, and they've told the US to get their troops out of the country.
Fair enough.
That went well, Vicky.
went well. Over. I have a question. It's completely off topic, right?
Go on.
And it's a very serious question. What is James Melville?
Do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
Well, the reason is, right, this man pops up. I literally clicked on Klaus Schwab as a trend, and it was James Melville on Mark Stein's show. What is he, and what does he know about Klaus Schwab?
Well, he's allegedly a journalist, isn't he?
No, he's not a journalist.
Oh, what is he then?
I don't know. That's the point.
He made a tweet
What
earlier.
is he?
He made a tweet earlier that looked like he'd copied it off of someone. I can't remember who.
Probably me.
It was just basically a list of stuff.
Scottish diaspora, communications and
Diaspora.
sponsorship. Commentator.
Diaspora.
Yeah. Diaspora. Yeah. I can't read. I need glasses. Communications and sponsorship, commentator and pundit. What
don't
does
like
that
word.
mean?
I don't like that word pundit. What does
But
that
still,
mean?
communications and sponsorship. What does that mean?
It means he doesn't know what he does. Ask the Benbriggs the next time we've got him on. He's a pal.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. Adam says he is a shill.
I was going to say that, but that's probably not what I should say. But he seems to have stopped copying us, though. He hasn't copied us for ages. Do you think he stopped watching us?
I think he might got a bit upset.
Why? When we accused him of
a bunch.
Well, we did copy. He used to copy us every show. There would be something on the show that he would then tweet and purport it as his own.
Right,
am I wrong? Am I a meringue?
No, he used to do that. Yeah. He used to do that within hours of the show. I will say this. I'm going to start calling somebody out on a weekly basis, and that is the actor Michael Rappaport.
Rappaport?
Right?
I don't like
Michael
that name.
Rappaport. Most people won't know who he is, right? But he's allegedly a comedian and allegedly an actor, and has taken to becoming the most foul-mouthed social media commentator going. And he gets on the old video, and he starts going, "You fucking this, that, and the other, twomp loving cocksuckers, blah blah blah," and saying all this shit, and just calling vast swathes of the American public really quite nasty things. And then he goes on to his podcast and he starts commentating on influencer boxing, having never involved himself, I don't think, even in an arm wrestle, let alone influencer boxing, right? So I've made some official invitations to him on Twitter.
Oh, you have? You've called, pardon me,
man.
You've called him out a few times, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to fight him?
If he wants to talk tough, right, and act like this big old tough guy, come on, Michael. Come get in the ring. I'm game influencer boxing. Because if you win, which you probably will, you get to say you finally beat up someone. It's just a disabled man, but you finally beat somebody up, right? And if you lose, you got beat up by a disabled man. I'm game. Anyway, I'm going to continue to invite Michael Rappaport to do some YouTube boxing.
Speaking of getting called out,
yeah,
Zuckerberg called out Elon today.
Oh, he did. He did.
And fine style, I thought. I tell you what, you know what? I mean, Elon's fine for what he is, but Zuckerberg would take him in a heartbeat.
Zuckerberg sort of built himself like a machine now, isn't he?
You cannot beat that robot strength.
No.
He's going to take him down like that. He would crack his neck or his back or something. There's no way Elon could stand up to the Zuck. The Zuck would have him.
I'll tell you what, Rappaport, if they finally actually make that match happen between them, we can be the undercard.
So apparently Zuck said, what was it Zuck said? He said, look, I've been quite serious about this. I've approached such and such. I've put forward dates, but Elon keeps coming back saying, oh, no, I can't make that date. And then he comes back with, I need surgery. How about a practice match in your back garden?
Yeah, so I can read you the thing verbatim.
Right, go on then. I don't think it was far wrong, but...
He says, I think we can all agree Elon isn't serious and it's time to move on.
Yeah.
I offered a real date. Dana White offered to make this a legit competition for charity. Elon won't confirm a date, then says he needs surgery, and now asks to do a practice round in my backyard instead. If Elon ever gets serious about a real date and official event, he knows how to reach me. Otherwise, time to move on. I'm going to focus on competing with people who take the sport seriously.
I think
that
that's
is
cool.
Allegedly from Zuckerberg.
Yeah, if that's from the Zuck, then fair play to him.
Fair play to him indeed. Anyway, so I think it might be time to wind this down and say goodbye to these beautiful people.
Well, I want to talk to you about the massage parlour incident.
Oh yeah, give us the massage story, and then I can give you a massage story, and then we can go.
You didn't remind me, but just as well I remembered. But anyway, so this guy is
Early onset Alzheimer's.
He's either in TikTok or something like that, right? He's probably on TikTok. And that's another question that I posed to the world. Do you have to be in your car when you do a soliloquy to TikTok?
Well, you could be having a tripod on the wall.
No. That he was doing a video thing. But when people speak to the camera on TikTok, they always seem to be in their car.
There's a good reason for that.
Is it mandatory?
There's a good reason for that.
What?
Well, the wife's not around.
Right. Anyway, right. The massage story. So this guy goes to the massage parlor, and if we open the video opens with him saying, "She's gone to jail. She's gone to jail," and he's quite a young guy, right? Younger than us, even younger than you, right? I would probably say 20s. She's gone to jail. She touched my junk and won't give me my money back.
What?
Right. Immediately, my interest is piqued, shall we say? I'd like to know the backstory here, right? So apparently he was getting a massage. She touched his genitalia, right? Without invitation, I believe.
Yep.
And he freaked out and called the cops on her and asked for his money back.
Oh my God.
Now, my point is, what has happened to the youth of today?
Perhaps he doesn't swing that way.
He certainly, I don't know, maybe he did get a happy ending, maybe he wanted to see her in the jail, but that's not what it normally means. So there you go. Yeah, I thought you'd like that one. And with that,
I'm done.
With that, it's been a happy ending for you. Good night.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want to bond. something I can't undo.
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe.
So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place.